Okay, hey there, guys. I'm really sorry if this is like really quiet and you really have to turn up your speakers to watch this video because I'm recording it on my laptop, and for some reason, when I record stuff on my laptop, it doesn't have very good volume, so I have to like crank it up to like 500% volume when I do editing and whatever. But anyway, let's not talk about editing because it's New Year's Eve and I want to talk about my favorites of 2015 because I see that's a thing that a lot of booktubers are doing right about now. And I have some books which I read this year, which I want to talk about. And I'm going to start off with, they're in no particular order, and I don't know how many of them there is. There's a couple, I don't know. Anyway, that's a lovely face right there. Anyway, okay. Anyway, I'm gonna start with the books that I don't have with me right now. I don't have a copy of because I left them in my dorm room at school, which I'm not currently at because I'm on vacation, Christmas vacation. Because yes, I'm at home. Yes. Okay. Anyway, so the first book I'm going to talk about is Incarcerin by Catherine Fisher. This book I picked up from the library, but I bought a copy of it after because I liked it so much. I figured, you know what, I want to own a copy of this. And Incarcerin, if you don't know, is about it's like there's this prison, and it's like basically the prison is their world. Like it's dark and it's like dreary. The imagery that this book gave me was like so intense. Like there's like chains dangling from the ceiling is what I was imagining, and like rats scurrying all over the place. And it's like really dark and damp and not a very nice place to be. But there's no way out, and basically everybody's in there, and everybody in there doesn't know or even believe there's an outside to this place, but there is. Ooh. And it's about this guy and this girl who's outside the prison, who's actually the warden's daughter. Um, ends up getting into communication with this guy who's actually in the prison. It's about that, and it's very intense at parts, and it's interesting, and I really liked it. The imagery it gave me was just so awesome. It's kind of like steampunky-ish, which is why I picked it up, because I really wanted to read a steampunk book, and the cover has like gears and stuff on it, so I didn't really know if it was steampunky when I got it from the library. I was just like, oh, this one's got gears on it, it might be steampunk-ish, so that's why I picked it up, and it didn't disappoint. It was just kind of like, all right, I'll try it, and I really liked it. I really liked it. I really suggest it. I don't know if it's steampunk because I'm not sure, but it's got like that old timey kind of feel. Like when they were describing people outside the prison, they were like the girl was like wearing dresses and stuff like that, and it was all like very fancy and stuff like that. But anyway, I really enjoyed that. And the other book, which I do not have here right now, is 1984 by George Orwell. And oh, if I didn't mention this before, I'm all these books that I'm saying are my favorites of 2015 are books I read in 2015, not necessarily books that came out in 2015. 1984 obviously did not come out in 2015 because it's a classic and very famous. Anyway, read 1984 by George Orwell because I wanted to read a classic, and I thought it sounded interesting, and it was very interesting. It was it was a short-ish book, but it was still kind of like not dense, but difficult at points to get through because there's like so much intensity in that book at parts, I guess, because it's like crazy, you know, like corrupt or like totalitarian government. Is that the word for it? I don't know if that's the word for it, but it's like, you know, like corrupt government, and you know everybody's kind of scared and everybody's got to do what they're doing in order to. There's the dogs. I don't know if you can hear the dogs, but the dogs are barking right now. There's probably somebody at the door. Anyway, yeah, 1984 by George Orwell. It's a great book. Really enjoyed it. It was really intense at points, and it was like good. It was just good. Wow, I'm not good at this. Anyway, let's move on to books that I actually have currently a copy of with me. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Talon and Rogue by Julie Kagawa. I don't know if I'm saying that name right. Anyway, This book is about. Let's see, is that in frame? All right, there we go. This book, there we go, is or these books are about there's dragons, which is why I picked them up because I'm very obsessed with dragons. Look, I actually have my friend got me this for Christmas. It's a little purplish dragon. He's very cute, and I love him. And his name's Winston, and he's very cute. And he stays on my bed because I love him very much. Anyway, uh, Talon and Rogue are about like dragons, but they can shift into human form. So they basically kind of mingled amongst the humans, and they're trying to stay hidden because they don't want to get, killed by the humans who would be afraid of them. And there's not many of them left anymore, or as much as there used to be. So there's this organization called Talon, the name of the book, if you can see right here. And Talon basically is control of all the dragons in the world, and like is in control of their life. So this book follows a girl. I forget her name because I read this like in July. Anyway, that's bad. Forget her name. Sorry. She's one of these teenage dragon shape shifting into human type creatures, and she's not very happy with what Talon's telling her, and that she's gonna have to like conform and do whatever they say and stuff like that. So she ends up meeting this dude who's also a dragon, and they get into shenanigans and stuff. And she's got a twin brother, and he's very conformist or whatever, and he follows the rules a lot. So there's a bit of a, you know, what's the word? Difference there? Yeah, let's just go with that. Difference. Anyway, really enjoyed this book. A, because it has dragons. Let's talk about this. I like dragons. That's probably the only reason why I'm as obsessed with this series as I am, because it's like very contemporary. There's like a love triangle going on in this thing right now, and it's like I don't really like love triangles, and I think it's kind of dumb romance, especially like love triangles. I don't know. I'm dealing it with it though because dragons. I'll just be honest with that. If there was not dragons in this book, I probably wouldn't read it because the contemporary kind of thing isn't my thing as much as like other people's thing. I don't know. Wow, I'm so good at this. This video is gonna be like 30 minutes long because I'm taking so long. Anyway, let's move on. Next book I'm gonna talk about is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Moss. I don't know. I know that people say her name wrong sometimes, and then they're like, it's actually this, and I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Anyway, this is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, who wrote the Throne of Glass series. I need to enunciate my words more. Wow, okay. Calm down. Anyway, this book follows Farah, who kills a fairy. Shocking. Farah kills a fairy, and then ends up having to pay for it by going to live with the fairies in the fairy world. And the humans, they don't like the fairies because they kill people and are very scary. So yeah, and it's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling ish, very loose retelling. Anyway, I really enjoyed this book. I don't know why. I just got really into this series and was like, you go Pharaoh, you go fight them, you go fight them fairies, them bad fairies, you fight them. And then like I have very strong opinions about some of the characters in this book, such as Rhysand, I believe his name is, who kind of I do not agree with him. I believe he's very evil, and I do not like it when people are like, "Oh, I ship Pharaoh and Rhysand so much." I'm like, no, Rhysand is not a good person. He's a jerk, and like, no, no, just Tamlin. Tamlin is nice-ish. I mean, I like him more than Rhysand. He's more like not like I don't know. He's just not bad. I don't like. Eh. Anyway, I got very into this book, and that's why it's on this list because I was very into it. And yes. Anyway, yeah, I very much enjoyed this book, I very, very much want there to be a sequel. I don't know if there will be, but hopefully. Anyway, let's move on. Next two things I'm going to talk about, it's actually a graphic novel, and that is Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. I don't know if I'm saying this name right, but I got volumes 1 and 2 here. 3 and 4 are at my dorm. Did that rhyme? No, it didn't. So, Saga. This is a graphic novel, and it's like the only graphic novel I read this year. Don't read a lot of graphic novels. Really enjoyed it. Really cool, kind of science fictionious going on here. Yeah, I like the characters. I like this kind of relationship going on right here. I very much like this person. I forget her name. I'm really bad with names. Please forgive me. Anyway, really like this. No, well, both. But anyway, the one with wings, she's a badass, and then this dude's like really cool too. And then they have a baby. It's so sweet. Anyway, Saga, real good book or graphic novel. You should read it. Anyway, last book I'm going to talk about is a contemporary Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I'm not a contemporary person, guys. Like, I'm not into romance stuff. Don't like it. Very picky with the romance stuff. Don't want to listen to it. Don't want to hear it. That's very much romance in books is more of a kind of like if it's there, I'll deal with it. But do I want it to be the center of the whole conflict and resolution and whatever? No, I do not. But that's kind of not the case with Eleanor and Park because obviously, Eleanor and Park kind of fall in love and things happen and blah, 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 blah. But it just seemed like it was written too well. Like, it was written, like, it's got point of views from Eleanor and Park. And this is my sister's copy, by the way, because my copy's at my dorm. She got this for Christmas from my aunt. So I'm just going to borrow it real quick. Anyway. So Eleanor and Park, different points of views, which was cool and I really enjoyed. And I really think that Rainbow Rowell kind of really gets teenagers kind of like it felt really sincere to me when I was reading this book. It didn't feel like forced at all or like fake in any way. It felt really genuine, which I really really liked because I haven't really read a lot of contemporaries that felt as like true or like this could happen before. Like I felt like this is an actual book. Like this could have happened in real life. It was written. It was written so well, which is why I enjoyed it so much. And I've heard so many awesome things about Rainbow Rowell, and now I actually know why. Last book. Last book. I swear, last book I'm gonna talk about. I haven't actually finished reading it. I bought it like 2 days ago, but I'm halfway through. So I'm included anyway, because you guys can yell at me in the comments if you want, because this technically isn't a book I'm going to have finished in 2015. It will be finished in 2016, but whatever. I'm just going to add it because it's too good. It's too good of a book for me not to add it here. And that book is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Oh, not Anne. It's Amy. I'm sorry, Amy. So sorry. Anyway, Illuminae. I had like no idea what this book was about, but I heard about it a lot on the booktubes. And so when I got like a couple chapters gift cards for Christmas, I was like, I'm gonna go with chapters, and I was like, I'll pick this book up. And then they had like a 30% off hardcovers sale going on, so I was like, yes. I was just like, yes, thank you. It's mine now. I'm gonna take it home and I'm gonna read it. And I started reading it, even though I'm reading Outlander right now, and which is like a very long book. And but I was like, I gotta read it. I would just want to start it. Let's see what's it about, because I had like no idea what it was about. But I was like, I read the little slippy thing right here. You see that? But when I was like gonna buy it, all over the place here. There we go. Ooh. And it sounded really interesting. It's like science fiction-y, kind of like these people are on this planet and then it gets invaded, or not invaded, attacked, like majorly attacked. So then they have to flee. So there's all these refugee people on these like 3 ships. And they're trying to make it to safety while another ship is chasing them and trying to kill them. And it's crazy. And it's great. And oh my god. And it's told in such like awesomeness. Like look at this. Like it's got like text and different thingamabobs and pictures in it. And I'm trying to find a different thing here. Like look at this. And then like things like this. And it's like it's just it's told. What I'm getting from this book is that it's a very good book at showing and not telling, which is like I've kind of like read some things or like watched a couple videos on like writing and stuff. I kind of like that's one day I would like to publish a book. Honestly, that's something I would like to do. And a lot of things that I've heard about people talk about is when you're writing a book is that you should show and not tell, because showing people is like, oh my god, that's crazy. But if you tell someone like that there was this crazy thing happened, then they're like, oh my god, that's crazy. It's like not as much impact, I guess. And this book, because of the way it's designed and it's got these chats and like it's basically like fiction. It's fiction, but it's like fiction, like what's the word? First hand, like accounts or okay. My history teacher told me this once, and like there's like first hand and second hand sources. It's a first hand source, like it's a compilation of first hand sources of like this thing that goes down on the spaceship, and it's really intense and really good, and I really, 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 really like it, and I can't wait to finish it, and I want to see how it's going because it's so intense right now, and everything's going to crap. It's all so everybody's like dying and stuff, and it's so sad, so sad. Anyway, we're gonna put this away now because that book's making me go crazy. I like literally have to stop reading it sometimes. I've had to like put it down and be like, nope, I'll come back to you later when I am emotionally prepared, because this I can't deal with it anymore right now. Wow, what happened to my voice there? Wow, that's great. Anyway, so I guess that's all the books I'm going to talk about today. My favorites of 2015. Hope you guys had an awesome year, and hope your 2016s go even better. And I will see you guys with a new video hopefully soon. I'm sorry I haven't posted lately because you know school, blah 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 blah. Excuse. I know. Anyway, see you guys later. Peace.